1863, Union troops turned back an attack by Confederate Cavalry General Joe Shelby at Marshall, Missouri, which is roughly halfway between Columbia and Kansas City. On this sesquicentennial of the Civil War, it's good to remember that for some people, the issues from that war are still very much alive. Like so many of us, Mike Lofgren is a middle-aged white guy. He started out as an analyst on the House Armed Services Committee. He quickly became the chief defense analyst for the GOP on the House Budget Committee, and then the top Republican budget analyst for all defense affairs on the Senate Budget Committee. Then in 2011, Lofgren came out as an ex-Republican. He wrote an essay about the, quote, religious fundamentalist anti-science lunatics, close quote, he claimed had taken over the Republican Party. In 2012, he wrote a book called The Party's Over. Now, Republicans went crazy, Democrats became useless, and the middle class got shafted. And now, Lofgren is calling the same people who were engineering the government shutdown and are threatening a debt default neo-Confederate insurrectionists. An interesting choice of words on this 150th anniversary of the Civil War. By neo-Confederate, Lofgren means ultra-conservative lawmakers from the South and Midwest for whom the war never ended in the sense that they still champion states' rights above the federal government. And that includes everything from trying to nullify federal gun laws to shutting down the government because they want to defund another federal law, Obamacare. Toss in people like Rick Perry saying states have the right to secede from the Union, and neo-Confederate seems like an apt description. But states' rights fans need to remember a few things. Number one, the states' rights dispute that led to the war was the silly custom in Missouri and a dozen other states that human beings could own other human beings. Number two, 600,000 dead in the Civil War and 150 years of law since then pretty well solved the puzzle. The federal government is supreme over the states. States do not have the right to secede, and everyone has the same rights under the law. The idea of nullification, that states can nullify federal law, pretty much died out with John C. Calhoun. That nullification theory is at work in Congress again, with a lot of Republicans trying to defund Obamacare, but they don't have a majority, so they've engaged in what some economists call blackmail, forcing a government shutdown, and saying that in their minds, the U.S. defaulting by failing to raise the debt ceiling is no big deal, and if the U.S. fails to pay off some of its debts, well, so what? I'll tell you what, in the Confederate States of America, it may not be a big deal, but here in the United States of America, it is a very big deal. And that's Jake Oliver.